Broadcasting Technical High School, where we have a matchup between the 8-2 and number 3 ranked St. George's Hawks and the 6-5 Penn Colonials. Thank you for tuning in. Sports 1290 AM and the live stream on 302 Sports. I'm John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Benny Pinello is producing the game back in our Wilmington studio as we celebrate our 10th season broadcasting high school basketball here on the airwaves. And in this 10th season, we are happy to be providing the audio for the live stream produced by Nick Halliday and his crew here at 302 Sports. Both of these teams played in tournaments on Monday as part of the Martin Luther King holiday. William Penn tipped off at 12 noon against Our Savior of Lutheran from New York in the annual Concord Classic at Concord High School. The Colonials got a 24-point performance by senior Dazier King, but it wasn't enough as William Penn suffered a 77-63 loss. For the Colonials, it was their second straight defeat after dropping a 2-point decision to Glasgow last Saturday. In that game, William Penn trailed by 17 midway through the fourth quarter and fell just short of a miraculous comeback. St. George's lone loss to a Delaware team came at the hands of that same Glasgow team in its first game after the holiday break. But this past Monday, St. George's took a 4-game winning streak across the Delaware River to Paulsboro, New Jersey to take part in the MLK Jack Bird Invitational. The Hawks squared off against Middle Township High School, a team from Cape May County, and came away with an easy 76-48 win behind Nasir Highlands' season-high 27 points. Marty, welcome back to the broadcast team here. These two teams both have state tournament aspirations, and they realize as they head into the second half of the season, every win could get them one step closer, and every loss might be the one that eventually keeps them on the outside looking in come tournament time.
That's right. This game in particular could have huge postseason ramifications for both of these teams. For St. George's, they've got their eye on the big prize at the Carpenter Center come March. After coming agonizingly close last year, they look like now they're a team on a mission. They've won 5 in a row, including a victory on the road against a very good AI DuPont team. But the schedule ahead for them is not an easy one, so a win tonight is what they need to continue to build the momentum. For William Penn, it's been, as Coach Steve Christensen himself has said, an inconsistent season all around. They opened with 2 losses before running off 4 straight wins, but more recently they've lost 3 of their last 5, and their play on the court has often been as inconsistent as the results. They did pick up a win a week ago over a rapidly improving St. Elizabeth team, so they've shown they can hang with some good teams. Tonight's going to be a tough task, but one that if they pass, could go a long way towards securing a state tourney bid.
All right, let's take a closer look at tonight's team, starting with the visiting William Penn Colonials warming up in front of us. That warm-up being overseen by third-year head coach Steve Christensen, who came to William Penn after taking a few years off from his head coaching position at Brandywine High School, also an assistant at Del Tech. He and
Colonials team was 2-18. Really hard to improve each year. In the last seasons following that 2-win year, they've gone last year's 18-4 seasons and appearance in the state court. As an aside, he's really got this program
points, assists, and despite his relatively short 6'1" stature, he's also the leading rebounder.
He is. He's the lone returning starter from last year's team, and he's really done a great job assuming the locker room force on both ends of the floor. He can play shutdown defense. He's averaging 12 points and 5 boards a game, in an area that always goes a long way with you and I. He's a 72% free throw shooter, which we love. All in all, he's a major reason they've got a shot to make some noise in March.
All right, well, you and I are game film junkies. In fact, during the basketball season, I am way behind on my Modern Family episodes. But from what we've seen on film, we could see up to 9 players on the court tonight as Coach Christensen tries to figure out the best combinations heading into crunch time. We watched 3 games leading into these of theirs. He had a starting lineup in every game. He had 5 different guys on the floor every game, it seemed.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, this team's kind of like a Swiss Army knife at this point. He just hasn't figured out the right combination yet. They've actually had 10 different players score this season. Coach Christensen, he just continues to tinker and tinker with this lineup in search of the most efficient combination. And it's a good mix of talent he has at his disposal. They've got size down low with what we learned will be the starting center tonight, 6'8", Braheen Riley, and 6'4" forwards Jordan Harding and Buck Bowling. They've also got some really quick guards, including Jared Wall, who'll come off the bench tonight, Rob Rinkowski, and Desir King. King, by the way, played a huge role in that win over St. E last week. He blanketed Viking star Jordan Money all night long.
All right, William Penn is trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. On the other side of the court, St. George's is trying to win its 6th consecutive game. They're coached by 4th-year coach Rod Griffin. Guy's got a sense of humor despite being a former military professor from Temple. He came up to us and had a couple good one-liners I plan to use down the road at some point. But to say he's been successful here in his 4 years is a drastic understatement.
Yeah, what he's done here really is remarkable. He inherited a 4-16 team and led them the following season on a Hoosiers-like run in that first season, going shot for shot with Salem before finally falling in the title game. After 12-10 season, champ Salesianum, he did lead the Hawks to 20-5 finish seasons in the state the year. Mikey Dixon and Sanford off to an 8-2 start this third title game in Coach Griffin's 4 seasons.
Well, in his 4 seasons here, he's had the opportunity to coach senior Kaiser. Stepped his game up to an entirely different level when then superstar Lamar Hamrick transferred out of state in the middle of the season. Rawls then became the superstar of this St. George's Hawks team.
When Hamrick departed last year, Rawls really stepped up, both in his role as a leader and his on-court game. There was a point I was going through some of our notes from last season. Toward the end of the year, the final 5-6 games, he was going to the free throw line an average of 10 to 15 times a game.
Wow.
He was sometimes unstoppable last season, especially when he was taking the ball to the rack. When he wasn't laying it up or dishing it off to an open teammate, he was at the line. Through sheer will, he drove last year's team to the finals, and while he was held in check for most of last year's semis and the final, you know that he's been using that as a major source of motivation this season. And judging by his right around 23, 25 points a game this year, it's worked, and he's getting a ton of help in the backcourt this season.
He's been to the Bob Carpenter Center 3 of the 4 years he's been here. He wants to get back to that state championship game, and this is his final season on the St. George's team. There appears to be another Rawls in the making. His sophomore Nasir Highland is starting for the 2nd year and appears to have all the talent that Hamrick had and Rawls now has, which will provide a strong foundation along with a few other underclassmen for this program for the next few years.
Highland's been a sensational compliment to Rawls in the Hawk backcourt this season. After really bursting onto the scene with some beyond his year's play in last year's semis and in the finals at the Bob, he really has become one of the better all-around guards in the state in short order. He's averaging more than 16 points a game. He's done a great job on the defensive end as well. If teams coming into this season thought they were going to be able to shut down the Hawks by shutting down Kyson Rawls, Highland's proven that's not going to be the case. You add in the low post presence of Tristan Guild, who's averaging about 7 points and 10 boards a game, and the Hawks really seem to have all the pieces for another title run.
All right, we're closing in on tip-off here at St. George's as the 8-2 Hawks get set to battle the 6-5 William Penn Colonials. When we come back, we'll take a look at the Wilmington News Journal Top 10 put together each week by Brad Myers, and we'll also select our UD Star Health player to watch. You're listening to the High School Basketball Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports. Job like you never left. Hey, Benny, if you could just have an extra one if we need it.
Hadley Group is your local real estate resource. Brian Hadley joined Patterson Schwartz & Associates in 2005. In 2013, Nicole Flora joined Brian, followed by Emma Burnett and Grant Jepp in 2014. That's when the Hadley Group was formed. Patterson Schwartz Associates offer you exceptional knowledge of local market conditions and a commitment to represent you honestly and professionally. So for your next purchase or sale, think the Hadley Group. Visit our website at thehadleygroupre.com. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant. Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 home buyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time home buyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance in 2002 as a mortgage consultant.
6'8".
Yeah, I always wish they had their number on their warm-ups.
I know.
a.m. You're listening to the Delaware High School Basketball Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290.
Welcome back to St. George's Technical High School. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan, Benny Pinella back in the Fox Sports 1290 studio in Wilmington, producing Nick Halliday doing the production here for 302 Sports. We're getting ready, set for kickoff between the St. George's Hawks and the William Penn Colonials. It is now time to name our UD Star Health Player to Watch, brought to you by Star Health at the University of Delaware. Star Health, a new direction in health care. And tonight's UD Star Health Star Watch is St. George's senior Kyson Rawls, who's averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists coming in to today's game. He had a season high of 42 earlier this year, and I believe broke the 30 mark at least one other time,
yes, he did,
if not twice. So Kyson Rawls is our UD Star Health Star Player to watch. All right, we're going to take a look at the Wilmington News Journal Top 10 compiled by high school writer Brad Myers, and he is one of the most committed guys to high school basketball. He sees more games than anybody else, and so it's our pleasure to use his top 10 each week in our broadcast. And he was actually on with us for the Smarty game, Marty, when you were not here, so it was a pleasure to have him on, and we appreciated him stopping by. But let's go through the top 10. Mount Pleasant's been at the top ever since the start of this season. They're 11-1. Lisa Sullivan's got that team playing like clockwork. Their one loss was to a team out of state in that Concord Classic. It was a lesson area high school. About Kramer, their star sophomore. They weren't full power, but
you know, I think in the early go loaded, they're protected if someone go down. They've got such defense players from last year. They've you and I, before we went on the air, we're talking about, remember, this Mount Pleasant team destroyed that. So, yeah, I think right now
the losses that have hurt break, they're trying to get back for Thursday night against Concord. This George's team is at number 3. Apple lost to Glasgow last game, having 7'1".
Newark, St. George's, Appo, and Smyrna teams sitting close by. You know, St. Elizabeth now has gotten on a little bit of a roll. They're not going to. If Coach Rubenkamp gets defense going, they're going to be in every game. Two through 5 is probably right where they should be right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of them knocked off as we move forward.
Yeah, I agree with you. Number 6 is St. Thomas More. They're at 8-3. This has been the out-of-state teams. I looked through their schedule. They haven't beaten any. Number 8 is St. Elizabeth. We saw that huge upset, or what was considered an upset at the time, of Sanford last week. It'll be interesting to see how their season continues to go on here. And then Sanford, as you mentioned, coming in at number 9. You know, Sanford's one of those teams that they play such a tough schedule. They could have a losing record. They might still get into the state tournament.
You're right.
And then Woodbridge, another one of those teams like St. Thomas More. They're undefeated. St. Thomas More isn't, but they're undefeated, but they haven't played anybody.
No.
They play this St. George's team on January 28th, and it may not be until then that we have a real good idea of who they are and what they do. All right, that's going to do it tonight for our pregame show. We're going to take a timeout for the national anthem, and when we return, we'll have your starting lineups and tip-off between St. George's and William Penn here on Fox Sports 1290 and live on 302 Sports. I don't know whether they're doing the anthem or not.
Yeah.
Excel business.
Oh, for you mean. So the crowd mic's okay.
Yeah. They're going to do it.
You guys talk like you're
Welcome back to St. George's Technical High School. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan as the Hawks host the William Penn Colonials. William Penn tips off with a 6-5 record, hoping to snap a 2-game losing streak. St. George's is 8-2 and riding a 5-game winning streak heading into tonight's action. Starters for the visiting William Penn Colonials: senior Jamal Cramell, senior Dazir King, junior Jordan Harding, junior Braheen Riley, and sophomore Buck Bowling. For St. George's, it's senior Kyson Ross, sophomore Nasir Highland, sophomore Mike McCants, senior Ethan Brown, and senior Tristan Guild. It will be Tristan Guild jumping against the 6'8 Braheen Riley. Tristan Guild checks in at 6-4. St. George's in their all-white uniforms with the green and blue trim. William Penn in their visiting black uniforms as Bowling comes away with the tip. William Penn moving right to left in their all uniforms, and the cherry red they call back out to Cramell. So Cochran right before, and so he switched it on us here in the last 15 or 20 minutes for whatever reason, and that's fine. He has every right to do that. Cramell has it on the wing. He brings it up to the top of the key, working it around, trying to get it inside. Cochran and Bowling are flashing in and out. Bowling gets playing time, but is first time he has not started many games, is what I should say. Cochran on the left wing. He's guarded by Highland, gets by him, but then is met by Rawls at the right elbow. They work it around, and Cochran pump fakes in the corner, gets his man up in the air, and the foul, I believe, is going to be on Rawls. That will be his first.
St. George is starting out in somewhat of a hybrid kind of 1-3-1 matchup zone, which they're extending. It's really kind of hampered William Penn at this point, not able to get the ball inside.
Inbound underneath, that's Cramell who whips it over to King. King gets it back in the quarter. Cochran with a jumper off the far side of the rim, gets batted around. Rebound underneath by King and puts it up and is good.
That's one of the things King brings to this team. He's got a great motor, never quits. He's only 6'2". We see him banging around with the big boys for the board and the putback.
Rawls brings it up for St. George's. Looks like William Penn is picking up man-to-man. They get it to Highland, who is just at the tip of the circle there. He works it around to the left side. Highland, only a sophomore, rolls, gets it, tries to drive in, steps back, jumper from about 10 feet on the baseline, no good, rattles around out, it gets kicked around, and coming up with it is Brown underneath, puts it up, and he is fouled, so Ethan Brown is going to head to the foul line and shoot two.
Brown, Johnny on the spot there. Braheen Riley came down with that rebound, wasn't able to get a handle on it, got kicked away a little bit. Brown's the man who ends up with it and goes to the free throw line for two. St. George's has been a good team throughout the last couple seasons under Coach Griffin of getting to the free throw line a lot.
Ethan Brown has been 6 times, only made it once, so a 17% free throw shooter, and misses the first. He will shoot another. That foul was on Braheen Riley, his first and the team's first. 2-0, William Penn with a lead, just a little bit over a minute, a minute and a half into this game. Brown's second shot is up and actually landed in the same spot, no good, on the far left of the rim. Coming down with the rebound was Buck Bowling for William Penn. Slight pressure here by St. George's. I saw them do this in all the film that I watched. Azir King brings it across. They're not really trying to steal the ball necessarily. They're hoping you'll mess up and throw it away and give it right back to them.
Exactly, some token pressure out front just to get the other team thinking.
Bowling's got it. He hands off to Cochran. Cochran drives right down the middle, tries to dish it over to... That was Riley, but goes out of bounds our way. I was looking for the ball. That's why I hesitated
the funny
there.
thing about that, Cochran never even looked at the rim. He looked like he had an easy chance for a layup, but he was looking more for the kick out. You can be too unselfish, and I think he was right there.
That's going to be one of the most unselfish plays you're going to see all year. And like you said, probably was a mistake. So St. George's with the ball, moving left to right, and Highland launches a three from above the top of the key, NBA style. No good. And Bowling comes down with it, gets it ahead quickly to Cramell. Cramell trying to drive down the middle. St. George's in a zone defense, and William Penn throws the ball away and going to be turned back over to the Hawks.
You know, this is what we've seen from William Penn. When confronted, you can confuse them with zone and man defenses. They have a really hard time getting going early in games.
St. George's with the ball now. Highland is at the top of the key managing things, and Rawls cuts over and takes the ball, and they try to get it into the low block. They do to McCants. McCants kicks it back out to Rawls, and he fires from three off the back of the rim, and skying for the ball was Braheen Riley, and that's why Christensen put him in a starting lineup, hoping he'd be able to grab those rebounds.
Great job by Riley to get up very high and take that at the highest point.
William Penn yet to score. We're over 3 minutes into this game. 2-0 St. George's. And Bowling's going to take a jumper from the free throw line, banks it in. Not sure he called that, but it's good either way.
No, on film, I haven't seen Bowling hit the bank off the board too much. I'm not sure that was planned, but he'll take it. Nice job anytime you can get some points. He's not one of their top scorers, so good job from Buck Bowling.
So almost halfway through this first quarter, William Penn has a 4-0 lead. St. George is yet to score. Highland changes that with a 3 from the left wing.
That's something we saw last year with Highland when he busted out in the semis, coming off a screen and hitting the three-pointer with a hand right in his face.
4:21 to play. It's 4-3. William Penn with the lead. Kermel brings it across. He's being guarded. It looks like they're playing a man-to-man defense now. So like you said, Marty, trying to work things around here and try to confuse the William Penn offense. Bowling's got it at the top of the key. He goes into the left elbow and kicks it back to the foul line. And there's Cochran with a short jumper. Rattles around, no good. There's Riley with the rebound. Puts it up strong and is fouled. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2.
Tell you what, Riley, as you said, he was a last-minute start. We heard from Coach Christensen about a half hour before the game started. You can see why. The one thing St. George doesn't have, last year they had 6'9" Vincent Kent down low. This year they don't have anyone with that big size, so Riley's having his way down low early.
Riley, a 67% free throw shooter. The lefty nails the first one. Nothing but net to extend William Penn's lead to 5-3.
And you love having your post players be able to hit their free throws if you're head coach Steve Christensen.
And the second shot is up and good. No announcer's jinx there. It is 6-3. William Penn halfway this first quarter. Clock's not running. Somebody's been for the last 10 seconds. Not running, but we're going to keep playing here. But it still counts.
Great look by Kais. They pay so much attention to him defensively. He's able to dish it off for the easy 2 underneath.
Wing now, Tristan Guild comes out and him. Cochran working around to the 8-2-3 zone now. That's Bowling. Tristan Guild comes flying.
That court. Every just as comfortable in transition as they are setting up a half-court offense.
Ethan Brown with 4 of St. George's 7 points, both on layups on nice feeds from his teammates. 2:35 to play, and Highland pulls it out almost to half court. Looks like they're going to make William Penn come out and cover them. Rod Griffin giving directions. He set 4 guys up on the posts and the elbows. Now Highland's going to drive to the basket. He kicks it back to Brown. Brown gets it over to Rawls on the right wing. Rawls trying to make penetration, gets inside, but sandwiched, and they're going to call a foul, and they're going to say it was on the ground, so no shot there, and the foul is going to be on Terran Cochran, his first.
Great job by Kyson Rawls again getting penetration there, but yeah, this is kind of an interesting start to the game for St. George's. William Penn, after playing man-to-man, settled into a bit of a zone, and St. George's said, well, if you're going to sit there, we're just going to wait and try to draw you out.
Gerard Wall, St. George's, that will be his second, so foul.
Basket beyond the three-point line, so no, he's going to come out of the game now, and he's been a force down low for William Penn.
So not much of a rest for Buck Bowling, who checks back in as Riley has a seat on the bench, certainly for the rest of this quarter, I would imagine. St. George is with the ball. Highland has it, handling the ball as he's done much of the season from what we've seen. Same play basically there with the pick popped out by Guild, and they get it over to Rawls on the left side. He's being covered by Cromell. Rawls trying to work his way around, handles the ball very well with, and not sure what the.
I believe that a warning given to Coach Christensen.
But that was after a call of something. In his way.
No, you know what? He was on the court. They called that a turnover.
Pick is going to be on Buck Bowling. First foul going to be St. George's ball. Check.
St. George is not doing a great job from the field tonight. They like to get more inside than they've been able to get tonight against the Colonials. Good job so far by William Penn shutting down the middle.
Neither team has scored in the last 2 minutes, and William Penn is going to try to snap that here. Wait to play in the first quarter. Line. St. George is now back. Doesn't go, but they're going to call a foul, and if so, it's going to be his first, and it will send Buck Bowling to the foul line.
You know what, I will noticing now that Ethan to 1 on Jamal. He is shadowing him everywhere. So they're playing a box and 1. They have decided not to let Carmel beat them.
Buck Bowling's first shot off the front of the rim, no good. Comes into the game shooting 59%. So the lead remains 1 point for St. George's 7-6. We're under a minute to play here in the first quarter. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Buck Bowling's second shot is up, rattles around, no good. And Tristan Gill gets it. They're going to call a jump ball.
Wow.
And yeah, I'm not sure about that call as Cromell reached around him literally. And Cromell's going to check out. Tim Bateman is going to come back in. So jump ball, St. George's possession, 57 seconds to play. St. George's with a 1 point lead, 7. To King on the left wing, air ball, but underneath is Bowling. He puts it up strong, is good, and it's foul.
Buck Bowling is doing a fantastic job underneath, just bowling his way through the bodies. He's one of the thicker players on the court right now. We were talking about not a lot of muscle on St. George's side. Buck Bowling kind of having his way on the inside.
Checking in for St. George's is going to be Vashawn Wharton, making his first appearance, the 6'5 sophomore, as Buck Bowling gets ready to shoot one. 0 for 2 in the first quarter, just shoots 59%. That one is up and good. So 5 points for Buck Bowling tonight. Comes into the game averaging only 6.5. Shouldn't say only, averaging 6.5. He's getting close to getting to that average. So 11-9, William Penn with their first lead since they led 6-3 early in the first quarter. And Highland throws it away, but it looks like it was tipped there by Gerard Wall, and is going to remain St. George's ball.
Yeah, Coach Griffin looks like he's a little frustrated with some of the lackadaisical passing from his team right now.
Highland with the ball. The lefty brings it over to the left side, and he's going to launch an NBA three. No good, and it comes down, and I believe that's going to be a foul underneath. Actually, they're going to call it on Jordan Harding. I guess he was holding Ahmad Taylor, who just checked in. And so the foul, nope, they're actually going to call it against Ahmad Taylor, so it's going to be his first. That's the way I thought it should have gone, because it looked like he went over the back.
Yeah, there's a little confusion there right now. Not the kind of shot you want to see from Highland again. Those NBA three-pointers, you want to try to work it in a little bit better. I mean, he's got range, but you don't want to see those shots all game long.
And Rod Griffin agrees with you as Mike McCants comes in for Highland, and Highland has a seat on the bench. William Penn with the ball and an 11-9 lead. They've got it on the left wing to get it back out to Bateman, and works it over into King underneath the Bowling, who takes it up long, scoops it up, no good, but in some rebound. It goes up, and they're going to say dribble, so Bowling hustling.
I actually thought that should have been a jump ball based
on from McCants, and then a double team, and then they whip it underneath to Taylor. Taylor mishandled it, gets it back out to Wharton, and then Wharton gets it to the top of the key. They find a cutting Rawls on the left side. He goes baseline now, gets stuck, and against St. George's, and checking in for
from William Penn so far. They're really stopping Kyson Rawls from cutting to the lane. They're cutting off that baseline that he likes to take, and from the elbow. So really nice job shutting him out so far.
Well, and it's helped that they haven't been
extended.
Speaking of open shots on the other side, that was a jumper from three, no good. But it's going to be a foul underneath, and I believe that foul is going to be on William Penn's Jordan Harding, his first.
That is his first. Yeah, we're starting to see William Penn perhaps a little frustration underneath as St. George's tries to get some penetration, something they love to do.
Having trouble getting it underneath is Highland. He finally does to McCants on the low right block, and McCants throws it on the ground to Brown, and there's a scrum underneath. And they're going to end up calling a foul inside the lane, and that foul is going to be, I believe, on number 10, Gerard Wall for William Penn. That would be his first, so it will stay William Penn ball.
Well, I'm glad he had to make that call. I'm not sure what you could call there. It was like a rugby scrum going on for that ball down low as it rolled around on the floor for a while.
Highland bringing it in again underneath, gets it into the corner just out of my vantage point. It looks like it went off of William Penn, who was trying to get it into McCants. 14-9 lead for the visitors. William Penn, 5:22 to play here in the second quarter. Going to try it again here underneath, and they get it inside, and it is picked off as it went right. Good.
That's a great job by Cromell. He wasn't going to be denied. Coast to coast, went straight up the middle, and right now, this is pretty shocking to see William Penn. They're not a great offense. They're starting to get some easy points here, and that's not something St. George
today, and those 10th anniversary posters can be found at each Fox Sports 1290 broadcast, and we thank Royal Pest, planet-friendly solutions to your pest problems, royalpest.com, for printing those posters. Coming out of the timeout, St. George's has it. Rawls has it on the right wing. His team trailing 16-9, 5 minutes to play. He gets it underneath to Guild, who tips it over to Mike McCants and scores.
Nice job by Mike McCants. Again, a little Johnny on the spot. A pick and roll with Rawls and McCants. Didn't work out, but McCants ended up picking up the loose ball and putting it up for 2.
So I'm not sure it's exactly how Rod Griffin designed it, but he'll take the 2 points. 4:44 to play, 16-11. William Penn, they've got the ball. Bowling, who's been everywhere, has it. He gets in the lane, and they're going to call a foul underneath, and that foul is going to be on Mike McCants. That is his second foul, and is going to be the 7th foul. Or maybe they already put the foul up. It's not a one-on-one yet. Next foul for either team will be a one-on-one.
McCants getting a little too much body involved there.
Cromell loops it over the defense, and a nice job there by Ethan Brown. And they're going to call a foul after he was able to jump up and grab that ball away from Bowling. And they're going to call, did they call a jump ball?
They called it a jump ball, yeah.
I was shielded there from the referee. It looked like he was coming over to call a foul. Instead, he came over to make sure that he had the right possession call. So St. George's ball, 4:30 to play. William Penn has a 16-11 lead. Tristan Gill has it on the left wing. He gets it back to Rawls at the top of the key, being guarded by Cochran. Ball over to McCants on the right side. A cutting Highland gets it. He tries to dish it underneath to Guild. A nice thought, but no good. And Cochran on the other end. Layup no good, but is fouled. And Turin Cochran is going to head to the foul line and shoot 2.
Great defense again down low by William Penn. Guild looked like he was going to be wide open cutting to the basket. He was cut off by a William Penn defender, and then they get out on the fast break. Just I'm really surprised for it. Doing some quick math here. Their 5-game winning streak, they're averaging about 75 points a game in St. George's.
They're not close.
11 halfway through the second quarter here. So, William Penn, nice job.
Mike McCants just picked up his 3rd foul, so he's going to be coming out. It looked like Vashon Wharton, who popped up to head to the scorer's table, and he'll wait till Terran Cochran takes his first foul shot. Cochran has not taken many shots, if any, this year, but perfect on the first one to extend Penn's lead to 17-11, and it is Vashon Wharton, the 6'5 sophomore, who checks in for the 6'6 Mike McCants. So a little bulk that you're giving up, but not any height.
Exactly, no, but you are giving up a bigger body, as you said. Just I was going to point out with McCants, he is the biggest body out on the floor.
Nothing but net for Cochran on both his free throws. 18-11, William Penn lead halfway through this second quarter, and a cutting Rawls gets the ball, and he just can't get anything up underneath. Great defense by the Colonials. The ball's getting tipped around, and there's Wharton, who has the ball, puts it up, and they're going to call a travel call.
You're right, John. I mean, the defense by William Penn, Rawls actually looked like he probably should have just gone up with the shot. He decided to kind of do that dribble and then go up with it. Took too long. 2 William Penn defenders converged on him.
Zone press by St. George's now, again trying to make William Penn force their own turnover, and they almost do as Guild knocks it away, but a nice job there by Bowling keeping the ball in his hands. A jumper from Harding at the top of the key, no good. Skying for the rebound, though, is Cromell, and he gives it back out, and Harding's got it in the lane again, up, and that one is blocked by Wharton there, and St. George's comes away with it. Highland quickly across the timeline, trying to take advantage of a break, and goes up and throws up a wild shot, and I think caught a break there and got fouled.
I did too, Wharton down this end, by the way, defensively for St. George's. He's not one of their players that gets a lot of press, but he's doing a really nice job down low tonight, especially with McCants now going to be out with the 3 fouls for quite a while, I would assume. But St. George's, this is where they're best, when they're getting Highland and Kyson Rawls to the free throw line.
Foul was on Gerard Wall, his second. Nashawn Highland, a 63% free throw shooter, is going to take 2 shots. The righty first shot up and no good. They must have called that on the floor because it was a 1-on-1. And so quickly the other way is William Penn on the missed free throw by Highland. Driving in the middle is Cochran, puts it up, no good off the glass, but there's Bowling again, spin move in the lane, can't get it up, gets tipped away, and he steps out of bounds right in front of us.
Buck Bowling, that one we even saw it. He's going to try to argue. There's no instant replay in basketball, but we both did see he certainly stepped out of bounds there. But again, Buck Bowling continuing his night of just sheer hustle underneath. He's getting board after board down there.
Gerard Wall is going to check out with those 2 fouls. Tim Bateman, the 5'7" senior, replaces him. So a loss of 5 inches there. But Bateman has shown he can hold his own under the basket.
Yes, he has.
From what I've seen on film. 18-11, William Penn, the visitors, with the lead over St. George's. Highland drives baseline, and they're going to call a foul on Nazir King. That'll be his first, and it will send Highland back to the free throw line for a chance of another first end of a one-on-one.
And again, you can't keep sending Highland and Rawls to the line. They both are good free throw shooters, though Highland has missed his only attempt tonight. But St. George's is at their best when they're playing this way.
So Highland, the righty, puts it down, bounces twice, and rattles to the front, to the back, and goes through.
I have to say, seeing Highland's form, I'm surprised he's actually shooting free throws as well as he does. It's not the greatest form in the world, but as long as it goes in.
So 18-12, the second shot does not go in. The announcer's jinked there, but 18-12, William Penn with the lead, 2:52 to play here. Again, the token defensive press by St. George's, not a man press, but a zone press. They get it across. Crummell has it on the left side, and it looks like a 2-3 zone matching up with the three-point
shooters. That's exactly what they're doing. Yeah, they're trying to keep the three-pointers from getting it off behind the line.
What it's doing is it's forcing William Penn, and King there catches the ball beyond the three-point arc for an NBA player, and so he's forced to put the ball on the floor, almost throws it away. Bateman's got it on the right side. They get it over to Crummell in the right corner. Crummell's trying to work it inside. Cochran is flashing in and out of the lane. And so a very effective 3-2 zone here by St. George's is forcing William Penn to catch the ball beyond where they're comfortable shooting it from 3, and so they've got to work it around.
And you know what? Brown and Wharton are totally shutting Bowling off when he tries to set up in the low post. Brown and Wharton converge on him.
There's King going baseline right in front of us, a little up and down, and it's good.
Really nice job from King there on the baseline. That wasn't how that was supposed to work for St. George's. I think Rod Griffin was a little frustrated that they left that baseline open.
20-12, William Penn extends its lead, its largest lead of the night, with 8 points on that fancy drive by King. He pulled the ball up, pulled it down, and scooped it up and in. 1:35 to play. St. George's with the ball, and they're going to call an offensive foul, an illegal pick, and that's going to be on Vashawn Wharton, just his first foul, and he's going to check out. Checking in for him is Ahmad Taylor. So
Coach Christensen for William Penn. I love the way this game. I mean, it all looks dramatically like the St. Elizabeth's game did for them last week. It was very ugly. St. George's, like St. Elizabeth's, has not been able to hit from outside, and they've really been dominating inside, has William Penn.
Jordan Harding checked in for William Penn. Buck Bowling has the ball back toward midcourt. Certainly not going to shoot from there. It looks like William Penn, they may be content to work this around till they can get a layup. We'll see, but instead it's stripped away by Highland. Highland goes the length of the floor, puts it up, no good. It's the bottom of the rim. Coming away with it is Crummell the other way. Harding's got it on the left wing, and he wisely pulls up, knowing what his coach would want there, lets the rest of his team catch up, and it's going to be a reach-in foul, and Harding is going to go to the line, and that foul was on Nassan Highland.
Yeah, that was a frustration foul there for missing the layup. Nasir King gave him a little trouble, which caused Highland to miss that layup. Came down the other end, as we often see that little frustration reach-in foul, sending William Penn to the line.
Jordan Harding is going to shoot the front end of a one-on-one. He's only a 42% free throw shooter. He's 0 for 1 on the night. Now he is 0 for 1 on the night, and quickly coming away with it is Rawls to the other side, drives in on the right side, throws it up, thinking he was going to get fouled. No foul called. Crummell comes away with it for William Penn. 55 seconds left to play, still 20-12, and Steve Christensen is going to take a timeout to make sure he gets who he wants on the floor and also the play that he wants. So with 53 seconds left to play here in the second quarter, William Penn has a 20-12 lead.
Yeah, this is something Kyson Rawls, we've seen this on tape, and I saw him do this last year. Every now and then, he'll focus more on trying to get the contact to make sure he gets the N1 situation and not focus as much on getting the ball in the basket. So, at this point, he's got to focus more on making sure he gets down that 2. But right now, St. George's seems really out of sync. Coach Griffin calling the timeout. Nothing seems to be working. They're trying to work out a good shot.
Bowling with the ball on the right wing. Harding flashes across. Tristan Guild covering him. Bowling's trying to work his way to the basket. Now brings it back out. Goes between his legs. Covering him is Harding. Ahmad Taylor is covering him for St. George's. Harding pops out for William Penn, drives down the middle, scoops it up, and no good, in and out. That was Wall, and St. George's gets the ball back with 17 seconds to play. Highlands got it, crossover dribble, kicks it back out to Rawls. Rawls drives down the lane, scoops it up and under, no good, and the smallest guy on the floor, Crummell, comes away with it. 6 seconds left to play. King's got it, drives down the middle, lays it up and good.
Great job by King.
1 second left, and that's going to do it for the first half. Go ahead, Marty.
We're seeing these. You and I are sort of old school. You go and you take the right hand and you sort of go up with the ball. We're seeing so many of these scoop under layups. It's so tough sometimes to get that when you're off balance. We're seeing that now for both teams, but a great job by Desir King to end that half with a bucket right at the buzzer.
All right, that's going to do it for the first half here at St. George's. William Penn leads 22-12. We're going to send it back to Benny Pinella back in the studio for our Fox Sports 1290 halftime report. Once again, your halftime score, William Penn 22, St. George's 12. You're listening to the high school basketball game of the week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports.
Since 2002, Brian has helped over 1,000 homebuyers achieve their dreams of owning a home. Brian's knowledge of current market conditions and his detailed evaluation of buyers' finances ensures that each buyer will receive the best mortgage to fit their needs. Brian is often commended on how efficient and effortless he makes the mortgage process for everyone from first-time homebuyers to investors to experienced buyers. For the loan that fits you, contact Brian today. Mr. Italian began his career in home finance. Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com. Remember, you can always order online to take home our world-famous wings. It's your couch, our wings. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1979 with one focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with a voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique Image, you envision, we create. Unique Image opened for business in Wilmington, Delaware in 1970.
And then Dan decided he wanted to leave Akron as well, and he decided to go to Nashville. I kind of just realized that my quality of life would probably improve drastically if I followed him there. I mean, I love New York, but it's hard to relax there, and it's expensive.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more of the Black Keys and all of your favorite artists.
Welcome to the High School Basketball Game of the Week Halftime Report, presented by IBEW Local 313 and its local contractors on Fox Sports 1290 AM.
Welcome to the IBEW Local 313 halftime show. Benny Pinella here in the Fox Sports 1290 AM studios. Right now we're at the half for William Penn Colonials against the St. George's Hawks. Right now William Penn leading it by a score of 22-12. Other high school basketball games in action tonight. We have a score from Appoquinimink and Howard. Currently a 1-point lead for Appo, 42-41. In the third period. Ferris also taking on Sanford, McKean, and Newark Charter, Delcastle, and DMA. Wilmington Friends and Wilmington Christian Academy going at it tonight, as well as Sussex Academy, Sussex Central, Sussex Tech, and they're taking on AI DuPont. Games in the docket for tomorrow: Conrad versus Caravel, Tower Hill at Red Lion. DMA will face Charter, Dickinson and Tatnall, Delmira Christian versus Gunston. Polytech will travel to St. Thomas More. Laurel will face Salisbury, Woodbridge at Caesar Rodney, Lake Forest and Cape Henlopen. Dover versus North Caroline High School in Maryland. And McKean takes on Delaware's Academy of Public Safety and Security. St. Mark's has Salesianum. And Tome School will face Aquinas Academy. Moving into the NCAA College Basketball Top 5 Monday Finals, we have number 1 Villanova beating Seton Hall convincingly 76-46. And number 2 Kansas, they just got by Iowa State by a score of 76-72. Finals from Tuesday, number 5 Kentucky, they escaped Mississippi with an 8-point win, 88-81. And then games on the docket for tonight in NCAA Top 5 basketball. Number 3, UCLA will face Arizona State. Number 4, Gonzaga will face Santa Clara. Both games at 11 p.m. tip-off. So if you want to check those out, I suggest you pack a sleeping bag. For Saturday, Nova will face Providence, Kansas and Texas. UCLA will face number 14 Arizona. Gonzaga will face Portland, and Kentucky will face number 24 South Carolina. Again, the top 5 being number 1 Villanova, 2 Kansas, 3 UCLA, 4 Gonzaga, and number 5 is Kentucky. In the NFL playoffs, both games happening on Sunday. NFC Conference Championship, Green Bay will face Atlanta at 3:05, and New England will face Pittsburgh in the AFC Conference Championship game at 6:40. The winner at both advancing to the Super Bowl. NBA action, the Sixers have another big win. This one yesterday against Toronto, 94-89. They'll play again tomorrow night at home against Portland. NHL action, the Flyers, they haven't taken the ice since Sunday. A shutout loss to the Capitals, 5-0. They've also lost they've also lost their last 2 and 8 of their last 10. They'll face the Devils on Saturday. Our top stories in the world of sports: Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, Ivan Rodriguez, all are baseball immortals. The 3 headlined the 2017 class. Closer Trevor Hoffman and outfielder Vladimir Guerrero just fell short of the 75% Hall of Fame threshold. The Raiders, well, they're Vegas-bound. Potentially, the Silver and Black have filed to move to Vegas. The move must receive at least a 3/4 vote from the owners in the NFL in order to be executed, and the vote is expected to happen at the March 26th to the 29th owners meetings in Phoenix. Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings is a free agent this offseason, but expects to be back in Minnesota wearing purple. However, he is considering Houston, Tampa Bay, and the Giants. And 76ers, they expect Ben Simmons to finally debut following the All-Star break. He was a participant in 5-on-5 drills in practice last week. In Blue Hens action, the women, they have the night off. They've really had the week off. They'll take the court tomorrow to host Northeastern. You can hear that one live here on Fox Sports 1290. The men, they're still looking for that first CAA win. They will host Northeastern tonight at 7 p.m. The starting lineup for that for University of Delaware: Ryan Daly, Javarsky Corbett, Anthony Mosley, Eric Carter, and Casman Hayes for the Hens will take the court against Northeastern, who sports Alex Murphy, Sean Osius, TJ Williams, Devon Bagley, and Anthony Green. You can hear that one on our sister station, 94.7 WDSD. Again, tip-off for that at 7 p.m. And the Blue Hens, they have some news as well. They have a new soccer coach, Mike Barrecchio. Yeah, he takes over after last head coaching Iona and spending the past 4 years on the staff for North Carolina. And the CAA, they have signed an extensive broadcast agreement with the LAX network, LAX Sports Network. The LAX Sports Network could cover both men and women's lacrosse. In addition to Game of the Week, they will have a LAX Network will run a pre-halftime and post-game show. And of course, the LAX Sports Network will cover University of Delaware men and women's lacrosse. You can get your tickets for men's and women's lacrosse as well as men and women's basketball at BlueHens.com. We'll send it back to John Busby and Marty Sheehan live as William Penn and St. George's will take second half action. St. George's currently down 10, 22-12 right here on Fox Sports 1290.
This has been the High School Basketball Game of the Week Halftime Report, presented by IBEW Local 313 and its local contractors. We'll be right back with the start of the second half on Fox Sports 1290 AM, foxsports1290am.com, and the iHeartRadio app.
It's hard to miss all the TV lawyer ads. Catchy slogans surround promises of maximum recovery and fighting for your rights. Hi, this is Melissa Rufo of Rufo Associates. We have decades of experience successfully handling injury claims. Our track record with auto accidents, slip and falls, and defective products cases is second to none. We let our results be our slogan. Nobody wants to need a lawyer, but if the need arises, don't take any chances. Get a strong advocate on your side. You need Rufo Associates. Visit rufolaw.com. That's RUFO law.com.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problem with new sliders, small size fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
The American Spirit Federal Credit Union wants to help you slash your current auto loan rate as low as 1.75% APR with the American Spirit Credit Union Auto Bailout Loan. If you have a high-interest auto loan financed at another financial institution, the bailout loan may help you save money every month. Apply today before the funds are gone at AmericanSpirit.org or visit any of their 3 locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover. That's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union Auto Bailout Loan at AmericanSpirit.org.
Welcome back to the Delaware High School Basketball Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 AM.
Welcome back to St. George's Technical High School. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. William Penn with a 22-12 lead over the hosts, the St. George's Hawks. Benny Piniella back in the studio. Thanks for doing that halftime show. Nick Halliday producing here for the live stream of 302 Sports. Leading the scoring for William Penn was Dazir King with 6. Jordan Harding and Buck Bowling had 5 apiece. Taryn Cochran, Jamal Crummell, and Braheen Riley chipped in with 2 apiece. Not much scoring for St. George's. They've only had one game where they've scored 37 points, their season low, only 12 points in the first half. Nashawn Highland and Ethan Brown with 4 apiece. St. George's tries to work it in underneath right away, and it gets taken away by Crummell for William Penn. He whips it ahead to the left side. They get it underneath to Riley on the low left block. Riley works his way around, a little left-handed reverse layup, no good. And it looks like it's going to go out of bounds off William Penn.
That was a nice thought by Riley. I'm guessing he's right-handed because that was very awkward looking when he went up with his left hand. If he develops that, that's a nice little move to get inside.
I tell my own Riley, you need to develop your left hand. And anyway, so it's going to be St. George's ball here starting as we get underway here at the 7:30 mark of the third quarter. Rawls has it. They're moving right to left as we see it. We're tucked down in the corner on the offensive side for St. George's. Rawls drives right in and offensive charge as he ran over Crummell.
Yeah, it looks like the first 2 possessions they tried to get inside to McCann, something they weren't able to do in the first half. Kyson Rawls also wasn't able to draw any fouls early in the first half. It's something they've tried here, and so far they're 0 for 2 on what they've tried to get done.
Full court press as St. George's did off and on to William Penn. Crummell's got the ball, and he gets it across half court to the frustration of Rod Griffin. He was expecting a trap, almost throws it away, getting it over to King. They get it to Bowling at the foul line. He takes one dribble to the left, no good from the left elbow, and Rawls comes down with it. He gets it ahead to Nasir Highland. He's being guarded by Crummell. Highland puts up a 3 from the corner right in front of us, no good, and that was Riley that comes down with a rebound. He gets it to Dazir King, the leading scorer for Penn in the first half. A jumper by the lefty Crummell from the left corner, no good, and the ball comes down and goes out of bounds. It's going to stay William Penn ball.
And again, it's William Penn who's doing the yeoman's work inside. They're boxing out the St. George's players, especially McCants, to get rebounds down low.
And a 5-second call against William Penn is going to turn it back over to St. George's as they couldn't get the ball in underneath their own basket. So with 6:41 to play, nobody scored here yet in the second half. It's 22-12. William Penn leads St. George's. They work the ball around. They get it to Rawls, and he's going to take a jumper just inside the three-point line from the right corner. Air ball. Tristan Gill comes down with it, hits a cutting Rawls, and they're going to call an offensive foul. The second one on Rawls. That's his 3rd foul, second offensive here in the third quarter.
And you know what? Nasir Highland actually came up to him and told him that was on you. What he did was he stuck out his left elbow to create room for himself instead of just going straight up for it. And, you know, you get that arm extended like that, the referee's going to call that every time.
Yeah, no doubt about that. 6:20 to play here, still with a full court press, a zone press. McCants is trying to keep them from getting the ball to Bowling in the middle. Crummell gets it across the timeline just in time. Penn still with a 10-point lead, 22-12. We're 2 minutes into this third quarter. No scoring by either team. Cochran's got it at the top of the key. He gets it to Bowling on the right wing, about 10 feet away from the basket. A driving Cochran gets it, scoops it up, and Riley ends up with it, puts it up with the left hand, and it's good. So 4th point for Riley on the night.
John, I'll have to take your word for that. I have 2 guys who are standing right in the way. I can't. Sorry about that.
Fortunately, the drive was to the basket, or I wouldn't have seen it either here. 5:38 to play. William Penn with its biggest lead of the night, 24-12. Highland putting on a one-man show, dribbling, but isn't making any penetration. Great defense there by Dazir King. Highland giving direction out there. Wants McCants to come up instead of pick. He does, but William Penn slides with it, and Highland can't get rid of it. And Rod Griffin has seen enough of the dribbling show there by Highland, and he's going to call a 30-second timeout. While he's talking it over, I want to tell you about Concord Pet Food and Supplies. For everything your pet needs, visit ConcordPetFoods.com or any of their 29 locations in the area. Don't forget, after the game, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show, and we'll recap the game and announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. With 2 minutes to play, Benny Pinella just sent me an update. Howard has a 50-48 lead over Appoquinimink, so Appoquinimink may go down twice this week. Already lost once to Glasgow on Tuesday night.
That would be a surprise. When Miles Kale came back to Appoquinimink, they immediately, a lot of people looked at them as being able to make some noise in March, but they seem to be struggling right now.
We're going to have a couple Appo games coming up later in the month. For a complete list of our schedule, we had a 10-game regular season schedule. This is the fourth of those 10. You can go to foxsports1290am.com. 24-12, a drive by Rawls on the baseline, scoops it up and under and good, and he's fouled.
That's the first time William Penn did not cut off the baseline for Kyson Rawls. By the time he went up, they tried to come in and shut it down after the fact. He drew the contact. That's the play from Kyson Rawls we've seen time and time again on tape. If he can get that going, look out.
And that's where he was getting frustrated. Like you said, in the first half, he was getting in, and William Penn was not committing to the foul.
No.
He was just putting it up, hoping he was going to get fouled. He'll head to the foul line, shooting 71%. The foul for William Penn was on Taryn Cochran, his second, team's first. The foul shot is up and good. So it is 24-15. William Penn still with a 9-point lead. A steal by Rawls on the inbounds. He scoops it underneath the Highland. Highland puts it up and good.
A great job there. All of a sudden, life on the St. George's side. Kyson Rawls comes up with the steal, dishes it right to the middle of the lane where Highland picks it up, lays it in for two, and very quickly, 5 quick points, which it took them about 6-7 minutes to score in the first half.
Steve Christensen leaped off the bench for William Penn and called a quick timeout, sent 3 guys to check in. It looks like it's a 30-second timeout that was called there. The next UD women's basketball game here on Fox Sports 1290 is tomorrow night at 7 when the Blue Hens host Northeastern. And so coming out of the timeout, 5:10 to play here in the third quarter. William Penn with a 24-17 lead. William Penn has only 1 basket here in this third quarter. St. George's now with 2, plus the foul shot. Full court press for St. George's. Bothered the Colonials on the last possession. We'll see if they've solved that. Harding has checked in for William Penn. And they're struggling to get it over. They finally get it over. Rod Griffin thought it was a 10-second violation, and instead William Penn has it, and Gerald Wall has also checked in. They get it underneath the Cochran. Cochran, a spin move on the low block, and it goes out of bounds, and it's going to be St. George's ball there. So the tide has turned here, maybe not necessarily completely on the scoreboard, but certainly in the momentum.
No, you said it. St. George's, the pressure has really gotten to William Penn right off the bat, so you can bet Rod Griffin's only going to turn it up even more as we go along here.
I was talking to somebody before the game who knows this William Penn team, and he commented that if St. George's is able to press us effectively, we might be in trouble. Not a member of the coaching staff or a player, but somebody who's seen them play a lot more than we've watched them on film here. And so far in the second half, that has rung true. We'll see if Steve Christensen's team can survive this little momentum change here. 4:18 to play, 24-17 lead for William Penn. Rod Griffin's making directions here from the sideline. Highland drives in, dishes it off to McCants. McCants puts it up, no good. Tristan Gill gets it, gets knocked out of his hand, and quickly on the other end, William Penn dries up, and a foul on Gerard Wall. A hard hit there, a clean hit. Actually, I think they might have called an intentional foul.
Yeah, they called it an intentional foul, which I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of looked like he was going for the ball. It was a vicious foul nonetheless, but from our vantage point, it certainly looked like he was trying to get the ball. But they're much closer than we are here. Yeah, again, another frustration for St. George's down there and just not able to get anything going. Frustrated by that Penn D down low, and we get the fast break, and then, of course, the big collision down the other end.
The foul is going to be on Ethan Brown, and Gerard Wall is going to go to the foul line to shoot the 2 shots for the foul. We'll see who Steve Christensen sends to the foul line to shoot the intentional foul here. Rod Griffin is on the floor, and I think he may have just found out that it was an intentional foul. I agree with you, Marty. I think the loudness of the fall to the floor may have
influenced the
call. Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the contact and then the loud thud on the floor, but it certainly looked like he was attempting to block the shot.
And it was it was such a hard drive into the hoop as Wall makes the first of two to extend Penn's lead to 25-17. It was such a fast play, full out sprint by both the offensive player and the defensive player, and so that when contact was made, it kind of flung him around and landed hard. So Wall hits both. There's not going to be any foul shots for the intentional foul. Penn is just going to get the ball back. So they will get the ball back. 26-17 lead, 4:02 to play. Cromell is trying to inbounds underneath. He does. He throws it up, and Wall has to go up. Almost a collision there with Harding, and now Wall drives and scoops it up. No good, and McCants comes down with it. So a wild shot there, not the one I'm sure Christensen was looking for. Quickly on the other side, Highland's got it. He tries to drive in on the right baseline, but he's cut off there by Harding. And Highland's still trying to dribble here. I think a lot more than Rod Griffin would like him based on what Rod Griffin is shouting out. They get it into the corner and back out. Sinyangwe has checked in. Rawls, a little jumper from the left elbow, is good. So Kyson Rawls, only 2 points in the first half, has 5 already. It's 26-19, William Penn.
Yeah, Kyson Rawls starting to heat up just a little bit. And you're right, Rod Griffin actually wants to see a lot more movement from his offense than he's getting right now. And again, the pressure getting to William Penn a bit.
Again, they missed the trap there, St. George's, and driving in is Cochran. A reverse layup on the baseline, no good, but he is fouled and will go to the line to shoot 2.
There's one of those instances where the old school in me again says you go up on the right side of the glass instead of trying to come up and under and draw. You do draw the contact, but you lose sort of any chance to get that N1 situation.
Foul was on Tristan Guild, his first. St. George's fourth. Cochran's first foul shot is off the front left side of the rim. No good. Bateman is going to check back in. And he came in for Gerard Wall.
Yeah, I think Christensen right now, again, is just kind of looking for the right combination in this half as they try to deal with the St. George's increased pressure.
Cochran's second foul shot pops off the rim in the back left and goes out to the right corner, picked up by St. George's as they're going to move right to left. 3 minutes to play. They're trailing 26-19. Highland drives down the middle, and they're going to call a foul on the floor here as Highland was trying to get around the defender.
Yeah, and these are some of the calls we actually didn't see in the first half. I don't see William Penn necessarily playing defense any different, but perhaps the referees are going to call this a little closer in the second half.
Foul was on Desir King as Highland launches a 3 from the right corner. The basket is good, but the foul was underneath on the rebound, so...
Yeah, I think that they're going to call Jordan Harding underneath for the foul.
And so the three-pointer by Highland was good. That is his 9th point of the night, makes it a 26-22 game. And the foul is on Jordan Harding. That is his second foul. Rawls brings it in underneath right in front of us. They get it back to Rawls in the left corner. Jumper, no good. He falls down looking for a foul. Not going to get it, and they're going to call an over-the-back foul on Tristan Guild as Jamal Cromell did a nice job going up to get that rebound.
Yeah, Tristan Guild, not necessary to commit that foul there. Cromell had the obvious position. Kyson Rawls, a shot he'd been hitting a little earlier this half, so still down to a 4-point game. You have to think the momentum is in St. George's favor right now.
St. George's trailed by 10. They're going to try to get it even closer here. Rawls with the steal. It ends up in the hands of Sinyangwe. He drives in, misses, gets tapped around, still on the ground. William Penn comes away with it. They get it up to Desir King. He goes up with the left hand and scores.
Desir King, a great job being able to go up with the left hand there, fight off Tristan Guild as he went up for the 2.
Almost threw it away on the other end as it went off Highland, not off of Highland, but off of the William Penn player right in front of Highland, and so it's going to remain St. George's ball. Checking in for St. George's is Prosper Tarley, seeing his second action of the night. 2:23 to play here. William Penn still with the lead, 28-22, but the momentum has shifted just a little bit in St. George's favor as there's 2 superstars get hot, and just as I say that, almost a turnover as Highland drove in, but they're going to call a kick ball, and so it's going to stay St. George's ball, and Bowling is going to check in for Harding for William Penn.
Great defense there by William Penn. Highland tried to take the baseline, then he was going to dish it off to one of the big men inside, but William Penn closed it down in a hurry.
Apo won that game 54-51. Highland throws the ball away under his own basket. Coming away with it is Bateman. He gets it up to King, who puts up another left-handed layup and good. So all of a sudden, King, who led William Penn with 6 points in the first half, has come to life. He's got 10, and William Penn is back up 30-22.
That's twice he's gone toe-to-toe with Tristan Guild at the rim and beating him with the left hand both times on the fast break.
Yeah, Tristan Guild just can't jump as high as King.
Just
There's
can't.
nothing he can do about it. He got back. Jumper from the right wing by Rawls. Far off. Overshot that one, and Bateman comes away with it for Penn. Bounce pass ahead to King. King up again. This one swatted away by Rawls. Great hustle by the senior, and Rawls has it back in his hands across the timeline. He goes behind his legs trying to drive down the middle. Pull-up jumper off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound again by Cromell. His second big rebound in traffic, but turns it over trying to get it up the floor. Comes back, steals it back away from McCants. It's helter-skelter. Bateman goes up strong and doesn't score, but is fouled. So the 5'7" Bateman's going to end up going to the foul line, and everybody in the gym is just kind of taking a breath.
Oh, boy, this game, the pace has gotten frenetic from where it was during the first half. There's loose balls all over the place, players diving all over. I mean, the one thing we're seeing is incredible hustle from both teams, and right now William Penn is still getting the better of it.
Tim Bateman is going to shoot his first free throw of the season. The senior, 5'7" senior, a lefty. It's up and short left and falls out. Checking in for St. George's is Ethan Brown, and he's going to come in for Kyson Rawls, who's probably going to take this last minute and 19, not only to rest, but Rawls has 3 fouls.
Yes,
so you don't want to pick him up, have him pick up his 4th foul here. So 1:19 to play in the third quarter. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. William Penn with a 30-22 lead, trying to upset the number 3 Hawks, third ranked in the News Journal top 10. Bateman getting ready to take his second of 2 foul shots. Missed the first attempt for the Colonials.
The referee just delivered some bad news to Rod Griffin. We weren't privy to what was said, but Rod Griffin was not happy with what was said.
He didn't like it. Actually, I'm thinking they maybe took over that first foul shot because he's getting ready to shoot a third foul shot. He's missed the first 2, and so it must have been a lane violation of some sort. And Rod Griffin's not happy with the answer he's getting, but the referee is adamant that that is not going to change. And fortunately for St. George's, Bateman missed all 3 of his attempts. 30-22, a minute 13 to play. William Penn leads St. George's. Nasir Highland has the ball working against King. The 2 wiry 6'2", 6'3", they're listed at, and they're built exactly the same. You could swap uniforms off them and you wouldn't know the difference. 56 seconds left to play, working it around. They get the ball over to Dazir King. King on the coverage.
William Penn is just contesting every pass inside.
Yep. And they're pushing out. They're in their 3-2 zone, and they're forcing St. George's to catch the ball well beyond where they could pull up and shoot a jumper. And again, they don't shoot a lot of jumpers. It's Highland and Rawls is on the bench, so he's not even an option right now. As Highland is working the ball against King, trying to get a pick. He steps back, thinks about shooting, doesn't. Instead, he kicks it over to the right side, gets the ball back. He's at the top of the key, 20 seconds to play, drives in and puts it up. A beautiful block there by Cochran, but then he fell to the floor with the ball, and he's going to get called for travel.
That was a great block by Taryn Cochran, who also has done a fine job making some leaping catches for the Colonial football team in the fall. A great job to go up there and block the shot by Highland.
Rawls checks in for Brown, and the big 6'8" Braheen Riley checks in for Bateman. So a little bit of rebounding power in there. 14.8 seconds left. St. George's puts in one of their three-point shooters, Rawls. He's going to take the ball in under his basket. William Penn with a 30-22 lead. He gets it to Highland, top of the key. Launches a 3 right away off the back of the rim. No good. Run down there. A nice job by St. George's. They get it into Highland. Highland drives in, puts it up. No good, but is fouled. A great hustle play by Prosper Tarley, who went diving over the benches. I think he even broke one of the chairs there, but it's going to result in his teammate getting a chance to go to the line and shoot 2.
That was a great job to keep the play alive there. Highland has just not been able to get anything going from outside tonight. He's also not really hitting from inside as well, but he is a good free throw shooter on the whole, so hopefully he can get something going for them in the late stages of this third quarter.
63% from the foul line, 6.8 seconds left to play, trying to get his team closer, but off the back of the rim and no good. Harding's going to check back in for William Penn, as is Ethan Brown. 6.8 seconds left. Gerald Walls checking in for William Penn as well. And Cochran is going to have a seat. Cochran with the 2 fouls. I imagine Steve Christensen doesn't want him picking up a cheap third one here, trying to rebound. So 6.8 seconds left to play. Highland, who is now 2 of 4 from the free throw line, and they're going to call the foul shot was no good. I think it was going to be a lane violation anyway. I was going to say a makeup call, but that wouldn't be the case because I think they were going to call it against William Penn. So actually it would be a makeup call. Yes. The other one was on St. George's. So 6.8 seconds to play. A couple substitutions here by both coaches, and inbounding underneath right in front of us is Bowling. He gets up to half court to King. King quickly across the timeline, double team there, and it looks like he dribbled out of bounds. He did. So a turnover to St. George's with 2.9 seconds left to play.
You know what the shooters St. George's have? You can't say this is not a chance they'll get a shot off here. They most likely will.
Not out of anybody's range, and Sinyangwe launches from almost a half court and goes off the top of the backboard, and that is going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. William Penn leads St. George's 30-22. We'll be back for the fourth quarter. You're listening to the Fox Sports 1290 Game of the Week and watching it live on 302 Sports.
Hooters of Newark is located at 136 Astro Shopping Center, Newark, Delaware. Come in day or night to watch your favorite teams and sports on our many TVs. It's a great, fun-filled environment that is kid-friendly. Our craveable food menu has all the appetizers, burgers, salads, tacos, seafood, you name it, as well as our world-famous Hooters wings, which are the official wings of 302sports.com. Remember, you can always order online to take home our world-famous wings. It's your couch, our wings. One focus, wowing our customers with great products and even greater customer service. 30 years later, we are still doing exactly that. Whether you're looking for marketing tools to promote your business, gifts for your employees or clients, or planning a special event, we're here with the voice of experience to help you every step of the way for your complete satisfaction. Visit our new showroom in the Mill Creek Shopping Center, 4577 Kirkwood Highway. Unique image, you envision, we create.
William Penn has a 30-22 lead. They've turned the ball over once. Highland missed a three-pointer from the right side, and William Penn has it back, and a turnover there by Gerard Wall. Gives it right back to St. George's. They get it underneath. Sinyangwe up with a layup. Missed it, but is pushed, and he will head to the foul line for St. George's.
Yeah, and the foul line's been anything but automatic for both these teams tonight. William Penn, if you're Steve Christensen, you've got to be a little frustrated. Your team's trying to protect this lead. They've turned it over twice now in the beginning of this fourth quarter. Just not something. The way they've been playing this game, they've been very smart. They can't start turning it over now.
Sinyangwe is the best free throw shooter on this St. George's team at 73%, but doesn't prove me right there as he misses the first of two free throws. 7:21 to play here in the fourth quarter. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan. Sinyangwe is getting ready to put up his second, and that one is nothing but net.
The free throws have been hard to come by tonight. Both squads really struggling from the charity stripe.
Full court press, trying to get a trap here. St. George's is, as they have most of the second half. William Penn gets it across the timeline. Crummell to King. King being guarded by Sinyangwe. He gets it to Bowling. Bowling gets it back out, and it looks like they've got a little more composure here. King could have taken a wild shot inside. Instead, he kicks it back out to the right corner. Shot is up and no good, but William Penn with the rebound. That was Wall who took it in. Harding after the shot from the corner. My view was blocked there by the coaches standing up. We're over here in the corner, so I had a good view about 98% of the time. That was one of the 2% times I couldn't see what was going on. Wall has the ball. He gets it to King, the left corner. Wide open underneath to Trammell for the left-handed layup.
Wow, great look there by Desir King to find Carmel underneath. A breakdown in the St. George's defense. Can't allow that to happen.
McCants has it inside, puts it up in the lane, and he's going to go to the foul line and shoot two. The foul is going to be on Jordan Harding. That is his third for William Penn. 16 fouls, so both teams in the one-on-one, but this will be a two-shot foul for McCants.
And St. George's continues to struggle making their layups. They're getting to the free throw line. They're just not able to get their shots to fall.
McCants, as big as he is, he's only been to the free throw line 5 times this year. He's made 3 of them. So he is a 60% free throw shooter here. We'll see if he can get his team back within single digits here. Right now trailing by 11, 6:29 to play. First shot is up and nothing but the bottom of the net. Checking in for St. George's is Prosper Tarley, and he's going to come in for Tristan Guild. Third foul on Jordan Harding for William Penn. So he's got 3, and the only one that has 3 for William Penn. Mike McCants has 3, and Kyson Rawls 3 for St. George's. Second shot for McCants is up, rattles around, and no good. So it's going to stay 32-24. A token press here by St. George's. Sinyangwe comes up, tries to distract the ball. They get it across. Bowling has it. Gets it over to Wall. Wall kicks it into left corner for Cremel, and they get it back up top to Harding. Harding gets it to the foul line to Bowling. He kicks it back out to King. King with a left-handed three-pointer from the right side. No good. William Penn has it underneath, and they're going to call traveling. It got kicked around a little bit. It was Cromell that came away with it, but then he got tied up and traveled with the ball. Tristan Guild checks in for St. George's. Sinyangwe is going to have a seat.
William Penn is starting to play with more discipline on the offensive end. That time they actually got 2 offensive rebounds, just weren't able to get it back. They've got to start to take advantage of these opportunities with the 8-point lead.
Under 6 to play. St. George's trailing by 8, and the ball rolls along the baseline, spin move inside, and they're going to call traveling.
That's just a great defensive play by William Penn. They're cutting Rawls off at every turn as he tries to get into the lane. That time he had no choice but to come back to the inside, cause the extra step.
Turnover by Bowling, and coming away with it was Tarley. He went up strong for the layup and is going to go and shoot 2 at the free throw line. So a careless turnover there by Bowling and the William Penn offense against the press.
And that's about the 4th or 5th turnover this quarter. I've been really impressed on tape. He doesn't get to play as much as other guys in their rotation. He's done a really nice job for them tonight.
First shot is up and good for Prosper Harley. Cochran in for William Penn. Bowling is going to head to the bench. Steve Christensen's kind of barking at him as he heads there, talking to him, gives him a little pat on the rear end. I think Bowling knew what he did wasn't what he was supposed to do. Second shot by Tarley is up and no good. William Penn comes down with it as a full court press. He gets a quick to Cochran. He puts up a wild shot, but it goes in.
Wow, Cochran. At the fall.
34-20. Side, they're working it around. He pulls it out. 5 minutes to go. 34-20. William Penn the lead, the ball, and the
sudden playing takeaway, and as I say that, get careless out at midcourt.
And fouls. Brown is checking in for St. George's. Charlie is going to have a seat.
John, it's going to come down to who can hit their free throws. If William Penn can convert their free throws, they've got a great shot to take this.
As he misses the first. Marty, neither of these teams shoots exceptionally well from the free throw line. Nobody's shooting over 70% for William Penn. Cremel, 72%. Yes. Everybody else under 70. And basically the same thing for St. Joe. He shoots 73% and Rawls 71. The second shot is double-digit lead, 35-25 William Penn. He was standing out of bounds under the basket.
The basket.
So it's going to stay ball trailing by 10. Lob it in to Chris. It right back between his leg. He launches from 3, and it is good. So a big shot by Highland. That's his 12th point of the night. 35-28 William Penn.
They desperately needed that shot. Now they need to make something happen in the pressure game.
And the pressure is there. As Tarley is applying the pressure, they have a trap there, and Christensen can see trouble coming as Harding had it, and before he could throw it away, they call a timeout. Christensen has taken a full timeout. They've still got 2 left. Don't forget, after the game, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show when we'll recap the game and announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. Concord Pet Food and Supplies. For everything your pet needs, visit ConcordPetFoods.com or any of their 29 locations in the area. We want to give a special shout out to Royal Pest planet-friendly solutions to your pest problems. RoyalPest.com. They are the sponsor of our 10th anniversary posters that can be found at all of our broadcasts. We usually drop them off at the concession stands, hand a few out to fans. So if you're coming to a game down the road and want one of those posters, be sure to check out the concession area for them. Special thanks to Rufo Associates. Visit rufolaw.com. That's RUFO law.com. And to Fuddruckers, home of the world's greatest hamburgers, is located right off of Churchman's Road on Jeffrey Drive in Newark. Visit fuddruckers.com. And last but not least, Incognito Productions. They're the ones who designed that great 10th anniversary schedule poster. They're the premier sports filming company in Delaware. Check them out at nknfilms.com today. 4:01 to play here in the fourth quarter. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan, Benny Pinella producing back in the studio. William Penn has a 35-28 lead. They get the ball inbounds. They're in their black away uniforms top to bottom with the cherry red number. St. George's in all white, and King is trying to get around, and he does get around the defender. They're going to call Prosper Tarley for a foul. That is going to be his second, which is not a big deal, but what is a big deal is that William Penn is going to be shooting to one-on-one. It is the ninth foul for St. George's.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want to be committing these fouls away from the ball in a meaningless situation, which that one was.
First shot for the lefty, rattles in and out, no good. That did everything except drop. 35-28, 3:42 to play. St. George's with the ball. Their season low total points is 37, and so they've 9 points away from hitting that mark. Not a high-scoring game for William Penn either. Their season low is 44, so both these teams could possibly have their season lows. Rawls drives to the basket, into the lane, puts it up, no good, but is fouled, and he will head to the line. The foul is on Taryn Cochran of William Penn, his third, the team's eighth.
Kyson Rawls, again, he made his hay like that last year, and he's done it a lot this year, driving into the lane. Wasn't getting a lot of calls early in the game. William Penn was playing really good defense, not suggesting that referees weren't making the calls, but there is a lot more body contact that we're seeing here in the second half. Guys are starting to get tired. Rawls starting to take advantage of that a little bit.
Rawls 1 for 1 from the line tonight. This shot is up and good, so a perfect 2 for 2. He was held to 2 points in the first half, comes into the game averaging 25 points a game, and he now has 8, according to my scoring here, getting ready to take his second free throw. It's 35-29. This is as close as St. George's has been in a while. Second shot is up and also good. So the senior leader, Kyson Rawls, 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Now 3:27 to play. It's 35-30. William Penn going to try to break this press, and Harding dribbles right around Tristan Gill and goes right to the hoop and puts it up. They're going to call a foul on the floor, which isn't going to matter. It's still going to be a 2-shot foul, and that foul is going to be on... Now he said 1-4. There is no 1-4. It was 2-4. Tristan Gill. That will be Tristan Gill's fourth, and it's going to send Jordan Harding to the foul line, trying to pick up his first points of the second half. A 42% free throw shooter. So if you're going to foul somebody, not a bad person to foul. Don't want to give him a layup.
And unfortunately, Harding's a lot faster than Tristan Gill. Tristan Gill, again, was in a position of either having to foul or let Harding go for an easy layup.
Harding's first shot is up and good. It's 36-30. Second shot hits the front of the rim, the backboard, and then falls through. So 37-30, 3:19 to play here. William Penn with the lead. And a drive to the basket, dishes it underneath the Gill. He goes up, and a block there by Harding. Highland comes away with it in the lane, puts it up, and is fouled, and Highland is going to go to the free throw line. And that foul is going to be on Cramel, only his first. It's the 9th team foul, but that doesn't matter because Highland was going to shoot 2. Either way, he's 0 for 2 in the second half from the free throw line.
And again, poor Tristan Gill. That's about the third or fourth time we've seen him go up for a rebound or a shot and have Harding just swoop out of nowhere to come up with the either block shot or the rebound.
And Highland misses this one off the back of the rim, no good. So he is now 0 for 3 in this second half. And you said it, Marty, about 4 minutes ago. The team that could shoot better on the free throw line down the stretch is going to be the winner of this game. And so far, it's been William Penn, and why they have one of the reasons they have a 37-30 lead with 3:07 to play. Second shot by Highland is up and good. So Nashawn Highland makes good on 1 of 2. It's 37-31 with 3:05 to play here in the fourth quarter as the William Penn Colonials are trying to pull an upset away at number 3 ranked St. George's. Harding's got it. He gets it into the quarter to King. King is trying to pull it out. Takes one dribble, picks it up, and gets trapped there, but he manages to get it to Cochran. Cochran's trapped. He gives it underneath to Crummell. Crummell puts up a wild shot. Turnaround, no good, but it gets tipped in, and I think that was Cochran that tipped that ball in.
I actually think it was a combination of Cochran and Tristan Guild, that knocked that ball in.
And on the other side, Rawls drives in, and he puts up a shot hoping to get fouled, and Jordan Harding obliges and commits his 4th foul. So Rawls is going to go to the line and shoot 2. Unlike Highland, who was 0 for 2 when he stepped to the line, Rawls is a perfect 3 for 3 and is going to try to get St. George's closer than the 39-31 deficit they're currently at. First shot is up and off the front of the rim. No good.
And you get the impression that St. George's is going to go down one way or the other. It's going to be with Highland taking threes and with Kyson Rawls going to the lane. And if they can't do that, they're not going to win this ball game. And right now, they're really struggling with that.
Between the two of them, they average 45 points a game,
yes.
And the second shot is up and good. So they are the scorers on this team. And, Rod Griffin even said that. He came over and pointed out a couple things, and he said, well, those are the 2 big stats you need to know, those 2 guys. And, he's right about that. And William Penn's got it now driving the other side. They're just looking to take care of the ball more than anything. A frenetic stretch there underneath. St. George's comes away with it. They get it ahead to Highland. Cochran in pursuit. Commits the foul. The shot is good.
Wow. A great job by Nishan Highland. He actually waited for the contact that time, but he made sure he had the presence of mind to still go up with his right hand strong for the layup. A really good job and a huge mistake by Harding. You just got to let that layup go. You don't want to give up the 2 points, but you certainly don't want to give up an N1 situation.
It's 39-34. Highland stepping to the foul line. He is 1 for 4 in the second half. He was 1 for 3 in the first half, trying to get his team as close as they've been, and he comes through. It's 39-35, and this is as close as St. George's has been since halfway through the second quarter. 2:15 to play here. 39-35. St. George's trails William Penn, and Steve Christensen is going to call his 4th timeout out of 5 so they can talk this thing over and make sure that he's got who he wants on the floor and that they're doing what he wants on the floor.
At this point, you just have to make sure, if you're Steve Christensen, you want to make sure your guys know to beat that press, get it over the timeline, and then take your time, set up for a good shot. You have a 4-point lead. It's not huge, but you still have the lead. You got to make sure if you're going to get to the free throw line, you make your shots. You can't have any dumb turnovers, which we've seen a ton of by both teams in this second half. And just this last time, we saw Harding get the ball sort of close to us in the corner, and he turned to make a pass backwards instead of turning up court against the press. There was no one in front of him. Christensen's going to make sure they know if you see an opening, get that ball across the timeline. You don't want to get stuck behind the press.
And so with 2 minutes and 10 seconds to play, it's 39-35. Don't forget, you can check out the 302 Sports live stream of tonight's game with our audio anytime at foxsports1290am.com. Just go to the sports tab, click on high school basketball, and it's on the audio archive page. And make sure you look at the whole page to find exactly where it is. It's not necessarily going to be the top game on that page. 2:10 to play. William Penn out of the timeout. They get the ball into their senior point guard's hands. Crummell with a 39-35 lead. 2 minutes exactly left here. And, Marty, we didn't talk about how they let 12 seconds not click off the clock in that first half and never recovered that, so we'll see if that matters or not. William Penn, I think, has been told not to shoot unless it's a layup based on what we're seeing. A couple guys with some wide-open jump shots turned it down. And a near foul there against King. It almost looked like St. George's was trying to foul there. Harding's got it on the right wing. He's double-teamed, and he gets it over to Crummell in the corner. Crummell drives in. A reverse layup. That was Cochran, actually. Excuse me. I was blinded there and didn't see Cochran until he came baseline. He went up for the reverse layup. No good, but is going to go to the foul line and shoot 2. That foul is going to be on Ethan Brown, only his second, and it's going to be a 2-shot foul when we come back from the timeout. I believe it was St. George's who took that timeout. It looks like I think originally it was the 30-second. I think they changed it to a 60 as Rod Griffin is having his team sit down. Marty, we're a couple of weeks away from the Lewis Polar Bear Plunge to benefit Special Olympics. I'll be plunging for my 25th year. I'm going to try to convince you to plunge for your first year. I'm not sure how much luck I'll have with that. But if you're listening and you are part of a school and you want to be a cool school, All you do is put together a team of polar bear plungers to jump in the ocean on February 5th. It's one of the largest fundraising events in the state of Delaware. It all supports Special Olympics Delaware. For more information, visit www.plungede.org and click on the Cool Schools banner. That's for you high schools and middle schools out there. But if you're not involved in a school and you still want to plunge, you certainly can. Go to the same website, plungede.org, and just follow the registration tabs to just get yourself signed up, and then you can create your own team. Speaking of Special Olympics, they are always looking for volunteers in all 19 of their sports. Basketball is just getting started, so if you're interested in that, visit SODE.org for more information. Taryn Cochran is going to head to the line. He is 3-for-7 on the night, and he makes the first of what will be two, so that's a big one. That extends the lead to 40-35. And we were going to have a sub, but now we're not going to have a sub.
I think the referee had started to throw the ball to Taryn Cochran, which invalidated the sub there, so that is the right call. And you're right, a big, big first free throw from Cochran.
And you usually don't see that happen at your home gym, especially. The buzzer keeper's usually on top of things. Cochran misses the second, and Guild comes down with the rebound for St. George's. Rawls quickly drives to the hoop, scoops it up underhand, and is good. So Kyson Rawls, the senior, has come alive here. It's now 40-37. St. George's is as close as it's been since the second quarter. Cromell with a behind-the-back move, gets it across the timeline. William Penn dribbles up, and a foul from behind, and that foul is going to be on Prosper Tarley, his third, and it's going to send Gerard Wall to the foul line to shoot two, where he is 2 of 3 on the night and 69% on the season, with his team leading 40-37, 1:13 to play.
Yeah, and I'm really kind of surprised at the strategy here by Steve Christensen to leave no rebounders with only a 4-point lead and 1:13 to go. I'm guessing maybe he doesn't want a cheap foul, but his guys down low, especially Riley, have done a really nice job coming up with some big rebounds tonight. It's a little surprising.
And as you say that, Riley checks in, as does McCants for St. George's. So the two biggest guys on either team are in the lineup. Second foul shot is up and good. So clutch free throws there for William Penn. Rawls drives in and he gets fouled. I can't believe they're going to call that a continuation. We'll see. They are going to call that a continuation. I saw one like that on the Sixers game last night. Christensen is not happened. He can't believe it.
I'm shocked that was called a continuation. There was an attempted strip and then 2 steps from Kyson Rawls before he even went up for the shot. Wow.
And so the scoreboard says 42-39, so they definitely gave him those 2 points after 2 giant steps. It wasn't a walk.
No.
We thought the foul was certainly before the shot. The shot is up and good. So Kyson Rawls has pulled his team to within 40-40, 1:04 to play. Both teams in the double bonus. Advantage William Penn here as they don't have to shoot. They almost turn the ball over. Cochran gets tripped, and they're going to call a foul. Rod Griffin looking for a travel. It was a travel, but it was a travel forced by a near tackle there at midfield.
Yeah, I think Kyson Rawls actually bowled someone over there. See who they actually give the foul to.
Yeah, they gave it to Tarley, but Rawls was there as well. McCants is going to check back in, as is Buck Bowling for William Penn here after Cochran takes his first free throw.
And Cochran hit his last 2. There may not be 2 bigger free throws for him tonight than these 2 right now to try to build this to a 2-possession game.
Stats here as they mop up some sweat there. And so Cochran, who hasn't had a lot of playing time until late, from what I can tell on the stats.
And I think some of that may have been, if I've read some things, he was part of the football team that obviously went to the state semifinals.
Right. So got a late start. Yes. Foul shot is missed. It's short and left. McCants checks back in, and he's going to check in for Ethan Brown. So definitely an offensive-defensive move there. Rod Griffin wanting his defensive players in there, or his big man in there, to try to get an offensive rebound, I should say.
William Penn has the lead, but the atmosphere in this gym, everything seems to be siding with St. George's right now.
Under a minute to play, 56.5 seconds left. Cochran's free throw is up, and that one is nothing but the bottom of the net, and that means it's 43-40. So that means unless there's a foul and a 3-point play, the best St. George's can do here is tie. Kyson Rawls has the ball on the right side. He's being covered by Cochran. He drives down the middle, a little fake, and a block there by Bowling, which was the right foul. The right call, I should say. He was definitely moving his feet, and there definitely was contact.
Yeah, I think the problem that he was upset with is Rawls definitely threw himself into it, but you're right, the defender was still moving, and he was moving backwards, which you can't do. You're always going to get called for blocking there. So, again, nice job by Kyson Rawls of getting to the foul line. Now it's been a tough night for everybody in the free throw line.
Jordan Harding checks in. Buck Bowling checks out. They want Harding in to help bring the ball up. And Rawls is going to head to the free throw line again. He was shut out, or not shut out, but shut down to just 2 points in the first half. According to my quick numbers, he's got 13 here in the second half, still shy of his 25 points per game average. So the defensive effort by the Colonials has been miraculous. First shot is up and good. So it's 43-41. Ethan Brown checks in for St. George's. Not sure who it was popped out. I don't know if you saw it, Marty.
I didn't.
Yeah, it was a clutch shot by Rawls there, and he has been clutch. He's only missed 2 free throws out of what looks like has been about 8 that he's taken this second half. This shot is up and nothing but the bottom of the net. So we've got a 1-point game, 43-42, with 40 seconds to play, and Steve Christensen is going to take what I have down for as his final timeout, which is critical because that means if you are having trouble getting the ball inbound,
you're out of luck.
You're out of luck.
Yeah.
You can't call timeout. Don't forget, after the game, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union post-game show, and we'll recap the game and announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. We'll try our best to get the winning coach on the microphone here as a cheerleader almost comes barreling into us at the table here. Let's reset the game here for you. At the end of the first quarter, William Penn had a 9-8 lead. They extended that to a 22-12 lead at the half. St. George's hasn't led since early in that second quarter. I'm sorry, they haven't led since early in that first quarter. Yes. William Penn led the entire second quarter. For a while it was close, and then they kept extending that lead. But then at the end of the third quarter, William Penn still had the lead by 8 points, so it was almost a draw there in the third quarter. But since that time, St. George's has stormed back, and they trail by just a point here with 41 seconds to play. William Penn with the ball. Both teams in the double bonus. William Penn, according to my stats, is out of timeouts. St. George's still has 2, but again, that is unofficial, and they're not keeping them on the scoreboard, so we have no way to check that. Inbounding for William Penn is Jordan Harding. A full court press by St. George's. He gets it into Wall. Wall gets it over to Crummell, which is where they want the ball to be. Still got to get it across half court. He is now across half court, and they're going to call a foul on Prosper Tarley, which will be his 5th, and they're going to call a push-off foul there, and I think everybody was surprised by that call.
That was the tightest of calls. Yeah, I didn't see much there at all. I guess they're determined to make them finish this thing at the free throw line one way or the other.
So Prosper Tarley's going to have a seat. He did a nice job. Didn't play a lot of minutes, but certainly got his money's worth with his hustle and also the foul. He leaves with 1 point. He was 1 for 2 from the foul line. McCants checks in for him. And Jamal Crummell, a 72% free throw shooter, but steps to the line for his first of 2 tonight off the back of the rim, and no good. And this is sometimes where if you haven't had a chance to shoot a free throw the entire game, it hurts you the most in a foreign gym.
It does. And the crowd is going nuts for St. George's. There's a lot of pressure in this situation. Carmella Sr., he's been in these situations before. He did start on last year's team. But, tough situation for anybody to be at the free throw line, especially when it's your first of the night.
Second shot for the lefty up, and it is good. But I think they're going to call Crummell. I think he stepped over the line.
Violation. Yeah, he actually thought the shot was off and went to get his own rebound. Took off a little too quickly. Cost himself a point there. So St. George's takes over down 1 with 33.5 to go.
So for the second week in a row, we've got a barn burner here late in the fourth quarter. 30 seconds to play. Rawls has the ball for St. George's. 43-42, William Penn with the lead, and Rod Griffin is going to take a timeout to talk about what he wants to do with 21.9 seconds left to go. And I think this is also a great opportunity for Steve Christensen. I think he's probably relieved because, again, we don't think he has any timeouts. He's going to get to talk to his team about what he expects from them.
I agree 100%. I bet Steve Christensen feels like they bailed him out a little bit there to get a chance to settle his team down. Their team, again, they're just over 500. They're 6-5. They have the big win over St. E, but it hasn't been a great season for them. In Steve Christensen's own words, they've been inconsistent throughout. So they would love to get a win this big on St. George's home floor against a team that is very good, a team that definitely has a chance to make a lot of noise in March. So he wants to make sure they do everything they can out of his last 21.9 seconds.
You declared, Marty, that free throws would be the difference. William Penn has missed 11 free throws in this second half. St. George's hasn't done spectacular, but they've only missed 7 if you're going to compare the two. And so that is the difference right now and what has gotten them back in the game.
You know, when you and I communicate at basketball season, we always focus a lot on what goes on with the free throws of these teams. You can't leave that many points on the line. And, you know, who knows how many of those 11, I don't know how many were 1-and-1. So opportunity for even more points that they left
That's
out
just
there.
It. Yeah, looking at William Penn, there were at least 3 opportunities where they didn't get to the second of the 1-and-1.
That's a tough way to win.
21.9 to play. St. George's is going to inbounds, moving right to left as we see it from the corner, moving right at us just like St. Elizabeth was last week when Jordan Money scored that leaner in the lane to give his team the win. Highland's got it at the top of the key. 12 seconds to play. William Penn coming out to trap. He's trying to get it to Rawls, and Rod Griffin takes his final timeout before Highland gets called for 5 seconds. So with 6.8 seconds left to play, Rod Griffin is going to bring his team together. I believe he only had a 30-second timeout left, and so it's going to be a quick look at the clipboard. This is what I want you to do, folks. I can almost guarantee you, Marty, one of 2 guys is going to have the ball in their hands.
Yeah, I bet that number 2 or number 5 is going to end up taking this last shot. As you said with St. Elizabeth's last week, they got the ball in the hands of Jordan Money to take the climactic shot. We imagine here it's going to be Rawls or Highland, and a great timeout and a good job to have one left there because Highland was in no man's land out by midcourt. He was in a trap situation. You're right, the 5-second call couldn't have been far off.
Yeah, and sometimes you wonder why these coaches don't take timeouts when their teams are really getting beat early in the first half, and this is exactly why.
Exactly why.
Because if you don't have that timeout, you're right. St. George's turns it over. William Penn just has to inbound, and the game is over. Rawls is going to inbound right in front of the St. George's bench. He gets it to Highland. Highland tries to get around his man. They dish it underneath, and they throw it away. And Highland is looking at Brown like he was supposed to be cutting.
The clock never ran, John.
It did not for the second time, and Steve Christensen pointing that out this time.
Boy, that is, I got to say, that's probably at least 14 to 15 seconds that St. George's has gotten extra in this game, including about 12 to 14 in the first half.
And neither, I don't think, was intentional, certainly. And especially at this point. And in the first half, it was so blatant that, there was just no way that somebody would sit and intentionally let 15 seconds run off the clock. But that is, the referees are taking care of it here. It should have been taken care of in the first half by somebody, and it wasn't. But, back to our point, this game would have been over.
Yes,
absolutely. This game would have been over with William Penn with the win without that time. And it'll be interesting to see when we talk to whichever coach after the game if they even realize that 15 seconds did not click off in the first half.
Right. And what's amazing is nobody in the crowd. We didn't hear anyone yelling that the clock wasn't running.
Usually you hear 50 people yelling, right. 4.6 to play. William Penn inbounding right in front of us. They got to go the length of the court. Once they get it in, they do, and a quick foul. And it's going to send Cochran to the foul line to shoot what we'll see whether it's the game-winning free throw. He's up by 1. Either way, there's going to be 3.3 seconds left when he either makes both or misses it. Christensen's calling the other 4 players over to discuss what he wants from them.
I understand the strategy there, but boy, when Cochran got that ball in the middle of the court, no one was in front of him. If he would have just dribbled ahead over midcourt, he kills maybe 1 or 2 more seconds.
And the shot is up and nothing but the bottom of the net. So Cochran has not he's made 1 of 2 every time.
Yes.
Actually, he was 2 of 2 early in the game. In fact, it might have been the first 2 points of the game. So he's given his team a 44-42 lead with the 3-point shooting ability of Rawls and Highland. This one is critical. And he misses it to the left, but it comes off. No timeouts here. Rawls is going to end up throwing it up from beyond the arc and off the backboard and no good. And William Penn escapes with a 44-42 upset win over the number 3 St. George's Hawks here at St. George's High School. When we come back, it's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show when we'll recap the game, talk to Steve Christensen, and announce our Crown Trophy player of the game. Once again, your final score, William Penn 44, St. George's 42. We'll be right back with the postgame show.
Crown Trophy of Glasgow and Wilmington are excited to announce our new varsity letter sport balls in football, basketball, baseball, and softball. These are real sport balls that are professionally embroidered and individualized for the athlete. They can also be used for championship game recognition as the championship game ball. These sports balls make a great gift and are an amazing way to showcase your varsity letter and achievement. Make sure to get your varsity letter sport ball at Crown Trophy of Glasgow and Wilmington. Visit crowntrophy.com.
Want to watch high school sports live? Go to 302sports.com. Each week, we will be live streaming high school sporting events to our 302 Sports YouTube channel. Go to our homepage and click live stream to join our 302 Sports channel to see our upcoming schedule. What are you waiting for? Join today for the best coverage of high school sports in Delaware. 302 Sports. Don't miss the action. All Delaware, all sports. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 302 Sports.
No matter their age, help your children develop into lifelong readers. This is Frederica Jenner, president of the Delaware State Education Association. Reading to your children early and often creates a habit that can last a lifetime. Encourage reading in your home by visiting the library frequently and letting your kids pick out books on subjects that interest them. Feed their natural curiosity with books. Reading is a habit that can spark a lifetime of learning.
A message from the Delaware State Education Association.
The American Spirit Federal Credit Union wants to help you slash your current auto loan rate as low as 1.75% APR with the American Spirit Credit Union Auto Bailout Loan. If you have a high-interest auto loan financed at another financial institution, the bailout loan may help you save money every month. Apply today before the funds are gone at americanspirit.org or visit any of their 3 locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover. That's the American Spirit Federal Credit Union Auto Bailout Loan at americanspirit.org.
Welcome to the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show on Fox Sports 1290. Visit americanspirit.org.
You know, what did you tell your team at halftime?
Well, we told our team after we knew they were going to make a run. Obviously, they're a really good basketball team, and Rawls and Highland can really score the ball. So, we just wanted to be sure on our defense like we were in the first half, and then we thought pressure would come, and we knew we had to take care of the ball, which we've struggled with the last 2 games. So, I thought it was a little bit better, not so much in the fourth quarter, but we hung on. So,
Coach, 3 of your losses this season have been by 4 points or less. So, the end of games, close games, been a little bit of bugaboo for you guys.
Yep.
How important is it for you to get this win over this good a team under your belt going forward?
I think it's really important for the kids. We've got some inexperienced guys out there, and they've been battling, and we just haven't been able to get over the hump, and I think this was a huge thing for these guys. I mean, they were really focused the last 2 days. They were focused today and shoot around. They really wanted it, so, we're getting there. It's a work in progress for sure.
Coach, we'll let you go talk to your team. I know they're waiting for you, and you want to get in there and congratulate them. Congratulations. We're going to see you not next week, but the week after. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good job, Coach.
Head coach Steve Christensen from William Penn as his team has come away with a 44-42 win over the St. George's Hawks. Let's go through the scoring very quickly here. Taryn Cochran led William Penn with 10 points, and Dazir King, I should say, also had 10 points, so they both had the team highs. 7 points for Jordan Harding, 5 for Buck Bowling, 4 for Jamar Crummell, and Gerard Wall and Braheen Riley also had 4 points apiece. So a nice job defensively for St. George's. That is close to the lowest scoring. Actually, it's a tie for the lowest scoring point total for William Penn with 44. They scored just 44 in a loss earlier in the season. For St. George's, they scored 42 points. Looked for a while like they would have their lowest point total of the season, which was 37 coming in, but they did manage to have that big fourth quarter and get to 42 points, just 2 points shy of where they needed to be. Kyson Rawls, as he's done all season, led his team in scoring with 17, 15 of them coming in the second half. Nassan Highland also a big second half to get to his 12 points total, and then the rest of the scoring went Ethan Brown with 4, Mike McCants with 3, and Sinyangwe with 1, and Prosper Tarley with 1 point as well. So not the balanced scoring that William Penn had, but that's the way it's been for St. George's. It's been the Kyson Rawls and the Nashan Highland show all season long, similar to what it was last season. They're the two superstars of the team. William Penn, as you heard Steve Christensen say, they've got a young team. They're still trying to figure out what 5 guys need to be on the floor the most.
They are, and you know what? I think one of the things we saw going forward for St. George's that could prove to be an issue for them is the lack of height. Besides McCants, remember last year they had Vincent Kenny, was 6'9", down low. He was able to get some big boards for them. One of the things we saw tonight, especially with when Braheen Riley was in the game, he and Buck Bowling were able to come away with some big rebounds and really hurt St. George's on the boards, got a number of foul shots. So that could be an issue going forward for St. George's. For William Penn, I think you just saw a scrappy team, the same type of team we saw beat St. Elizabeth a week ago. They just do a really good job of hanging in there. Like the coach said, there is some inexperience. Kermel is the one returning starter from last year. So going forward, there's something to build on. This is certainly something they can put in their feather in the cap going forward and saying, hey, if we can beat St. George's on St. George's home floor, we can beat anybody.
Yeah, it's a big win against a top 5 team.
Yes.
I still think they'll be in the top 5 even after this loss at their home arena. So a very big win for William Penn. They upped their record to 7-5. St. George's falls to 8-3. The game time was approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes. All right, when we come back, we'll announce our Crown Trophy Player of the Game and talk about our game next week and where these two teams are heading as well. Your final score, William Penn 44, St. George's 42. You're listening to the High School Basketball Game of the Week on Fox Sports 1290 and watching it live on 302 Sports.
What was Cochran's final?
10.
What was his?
4, 6, 8.
What was his free throw total?
Style highlight films, licensed and insured. Incognito has been in the business for over a decade and will even customize schedule posters like the one created for Fox Sports 1290, team posters, and more. See for yourself the top quality of Incognito Productions by heading to nknfilms.com today.
Want to watch high school sports live? Go to 302sports.com. Each week, we will be live streaming high school sporting events to our 302 Sports YouTube channel. Go to our homepage and click live stream to join our 302 Sports channel to see our upcoming schedule. What are you waiting for? Join today for the best coverage of high school sports in Delaware. 302 Sports. Don't miss the action. All Delaware, all sports. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 302 Sports.
Human beings can be hungry anytime they please. Maybe you messed up and didn't eat enough lunch. Perhaps dinner is very far away. It doesn't matter. Come to Arby's and solve your hunger problem with new sliders, small-size fries, drinks, and shakes, each for $1 from 2 to 5 p.m., not a.m. Arby's, we have the meat.
At participating Arby's for a limited time.
Since 1984, Excel Business Systems has been committed to being your copier company and a whole lot more. This is Frank Montesano, President. To tell you, what is the whole lot more? To some, it's our knowledgeable sales, service, and IT support teams. To others, it's more selection. We feature copiers made by Ricoh, Kyocera, and Canon, so we can customize a solution that's right for our client. Give us a call at 453-1500.
Welcome back to the American Spirit Federal Credit Union postgame show on Fox Sports 1290. Visit americanspirit.org.
Welcome back to St. George's Technical High School, where William Penn has upset the St. George's Hawks 44 2:42. John Busby along with Marty Sheehan, and welcome back to the American Spirit Federal postgame show, brought to you by American Spirit Federal Credit Union with locations in Newark, Middletown, and Dover. Visit americanspirit.org. It's now time to name our Crown Trophy player of the game. Crown Trophy in Glasgow and Wilmington have always been proud supporters of Fox Sports 1290 and the student athletes in the state of Delaware. Visit Crown Trophy for all the best in trophies, and make sure to check out their all-new Varsity Letter sports balls. Continuing with the Crown Trophy tradition, each player of the game this season will win a customized Crown Trophy award plaque, and the school will also receive one for its trophy case. Visit crowntrophy.com for all your trophy needs. Marty, the floor is yours.
I don't know that there's anyone that particularly had an outstanding game for either team tonight, but for William Penn, certainly I think Jamal Kermel, I thought Harding and Riley had good games. Bowling played well down low, but for me, I'm going to go with the junior, 6'3" junior, Taryn Cochran. Ended up with 10 points, but it was more of the fact he was only 6 of 12 from the free throw line, but some of those free throws came in crunch time at the end of the game. He did miss a few, but he came up with just enough to get them over the top, and he's the guy they wanted to put they clearly wanted to put it in his hands at the end of the game. He's the one who ended up getting fouled, and for that reason, for me, Taryn Cochran just came up with enough at the end of the game to earn the Crown Trophy player of the game.
Congratulations to Taryn Cochran. Crown Trophy will get a plaque for him, as well as the William Penn Showcase. All right, let's talk about the next two games for these two teams. William Penn actually has a week off before they host AI DuPont High School next Thursday. St. George's heads to Chestnut Hill College in Pennsylvania on Saturday to take on Frankfort High School as part of the Kobe Bryant Classic, an event that they have participated in the last couple of years. Our next Fox Sports 1290 broadcast is 1 week from tonight, when we head to Newark High School as the Yellow Jacks host Blue Hen Conference rival Concord High School. Tip-off of that one is 5:15, and we'll be on the air at 5 with the Fox Sports 1290 basketball pregame show. That's going to do it for this evening from Middletown, Delaware. Thanks to our producer back in the studio, Benny Pinella, for keeping us up and running on the radio side, and to Nick Halliday and his crew here at 302 Sports with the live stream. For Marty Sheehan, I'm John Busby. Once again, your final score, William Penn 44, St. George's 42. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time, good night from St. George's High School.